Hey folks, I just did a good 20-minute long video and they shut the video down, full of all sorts of good information. We wouldn't want to screw things up here for Horvat, would we? What do I tell you? If this shuts down again, it's because I'm actually explaining things for the first time in a long time. Here's the deal. They've lowered the technology in regards to things here. I feel normal for the first time in more than a year. Easy, actually since 2010. Can you believe it? And they've lowered. Uh, they're not blocking my focus. They're not blocking my intelligence. They're not sitting on my willpower and desires heavily. They still are sitting on that point. Uh, and they're not blocking my feelings either in regards to anger. So I've got my edge back, and I'm very focused here and sharp. And it's because they've stopped. They've lowered how heavily they've been affecting me with Techno here. These things are not all the way 100%, but it's the first time I've gotten to feel like this in a couple of years, man. And what do I tell you? I've got an edge to me, and that edge is the result of what Horvat's done and gotten away with. And obviously, I direct this. I put my energy and focus into getting information out and making sure they are caught. And this is why Horvat blocks my feelings in regards to anger. The dirty little secret here is that I have actually very good reasons for being angry at Horvat, none of which German agencies know about because they've chosen to be sloppy. Whole point of me contacting agencies was to point out what's going on, and the BKI chose to believe what we've always known what's going on without finding out. And they accepted that I was being affected heavily when I contacted German agencies, but German agencies were never told the truth in regards to how heavily I was being affected. Hello? So they've just been incompetent and they haven't performed the basics like cops, never mind agents at agencies. It's all, nobody wants to do any real thinking. They just want to take a paycheck. Go figure. They don't actually want to perform their jobs. They just want to hear how that, they just want to, hear how uh, they just want to go on how they've known all along without actually finding out. In regards to Horvat and our officers, this is the way it works. Uh, they've got this techno off of me for the first time in a long time. I get to be myself. I've been sat on for a couple of years here in this regard. And it's not the same as just having techno anger shoved into you for creating techno events, what have you, for making you really tight and aggressive. This is very different. This involves things about my personality which they have been blocking. Um, this it's different with when they shove in techno anger, do reverse scripting. This is something being added onto you that's not yours with technology. Here, what they've done is they've been blocking things about my personality for a couple of years here, and then they've taken it off. You understand? It's like one's black, one's white. Instead of adding something to me, they're deleting something about my personality. And today they're letting me be my, feel as I normally do and am. And they've stopped blocking particular points as well. It's not simply them just removing the feeling block. And this is why Horvat keeps this feeling blocker on me because I'm motivated into getting the information. They just erased a 20-minute video that was full of all sorts of information. And as a point, if you're wondering what that's like when they've been doing something to you for so long, and then they stop doing it, it drops you on your head. So I've been very pushy and aggressive here today, and I'm aware of what's going on. I see myself balancing here, and I'm fine now. This is the point. I started doing this morning. I got to feel like myself. I went out shopping. I had my edge back, but I'm fine. I'm fine for being out in public. And, it's not like I'm exploding or going crazy here. That's the point. I can finally feel my anger and who it's really with. And of course, who it's towards is Horvat and her officers and the BKI, because everybody's going on their goddamn mistakes. And these people from the BKI have just been total morons. There's been like one chain of just dumb people, like a line of dumb dominoes. Oh well, the BKI's been there the whole time, and they know. No, they don't. That's rather the point. This is why I had to be affected heavily with technology when I contacted German agencies to convince them, yeah, well, this is the way it's been. And, Horvat was telling them that obviously that I was being affected in some ways, but she didn't tell them the truth in regards to other ways that I was being affected, did she? Of course not. That's how it's been the entire time. She misused technology on me for selling lies, and she was honest to point for making her lies look believable in regards to other things. Hello? Just dumb beyond belief. The amateur hour. I've dealt with nothing but incompetent people from the BKI here. Just dumb beyond belief. Anyhow, if you're wondering what it's like when they stop affecting you with techno after they've been doing it every single minute of the day for more than a year, it drops you on your head and you rebalance. They did this to me when I was writing a letter to the BKI in November of 2011. High level of anger and aggression, scripted sentences, you name it, everything. Total reverse scripting. And because it's easy for them to spike your wording with sentences they choose and stuff. Um, but the point is, they took this off of me when I was writing a letter to the BKI. This sucker had been up on me on a level 4 or 5 since late 2010. And it totally dropped me on my head. That was another weird experience. And I wrote about that experience in my email to the BKI, which never got to me. And because they never took the information. This is just stupid. And get a good look, folks. This is how no agency should conduct its business. And yeah, it just drops you on your head, and you go through a rebalancing as you come back to yourself here. The change is just instant and dramatic. You understand? And it's different when they're doing it to you with technology, like techno anger on you all of the time. It's very different than when they remove something. When they've been blocking parts of your personality. This is a lot more smooth, but there is an adjustment here that you go through. Now, to add to that, so I've got a feeling of tightness, but it's mine, and it's directed towards Horvat and officers and these BKI idiots. I don't care about small people like from OSI. They keep affecting me in regards to people from OSI. No, I view some people as being possibly able to wake up to the reality of Horvat. If you got a background with agencies, then obviously I consider that possible. If you're a total moron like my neighbor, forget it. But I give everybody chances here, and that's just it. Horvat's just trying to maintain that I am constantly angry and exploding over small bullshit. No, that's a lie. That's me being affected with techno all the time to convince you. And I'm affected so heavily, so much of the time, you rather believe Horvat's lying mouth than believe that I'm being victimized in front of your face for tricking your sorry ass. But I give everybody chances here. Same thing, constantly making me aggressive with this one guy who has his own radio blog show. I was tired of that ages ago. Again, he may not see Horvat here or get her, but guy's not a moron. And I certainly, based on his background, I see him as being on the higher end of things here. In regards to people I've dealt with, and people like him and OSI, I look at people in terms of whether they're good or bad. So I give everybody chances, And I'm not saying that in regards to this guy from the radio blog show. That's different. Different people are different here. But the point is, Horvat's had me hostile, sent out hostile emails even the last week. None of it's mine. None of that is mine. And she's doing it to maintain, she's been doing that to sell lies and maintain appearances. You know? all these people are just small time, small potatoes. I could care less about. And there are only two groups of people I'm angry at: Horvat and our officers. And sorry, people are going to have to find out what they've really done and gotten away with, and they're going to have to compare that with what German agencies have been told here and what they feel they know, as compared to what has really been going on. They haven't known about everything. That's the point. They're on a dumbed down level. Um, so I've got to go here in a moment. Um, oh no. Oh no. So okay, I really do have to go. The point is, I get to feel like myself. Yes, I'm tight, but I've got things in perspective in regards to citizens. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I went shopping this morning. I got to this one store, and they raised this tightness on me. That's not my tightness. It's techno tightness. They raised it to high level. And I was saying to Horvat and officers, I was like, fuck y'all. You go ahead, you create a situation here and get me put in prison. I'll go bitch slapping everybody in here if they start something really heavy and extreme. And I was like, screw it. You go ahead and do it, and you get caught later anyhow. And because once it happens, people are going to be hearing the truth regardless. And they had a high level of tightness on me, and it wasn't mine. And I realized, well, that's because the last time I was there, they had employees do some stalking. Not the last time, but I think the time before that, actually. And I could care less. These people are stupid. That's the point. I've dealt with people doing this stuff for years on end here. That is the point. And I get to have my viewpoint finally. And, the point was, I started looking at why is Horvat doing this here when I'm at the store. And, she can say, well, I'm trying to condition him into not going to the store anymore. But most likely behind the scenes, she'll sell it as, oh, look, they did stalking to him there and he doesn't want to go or what have you. She can make a lie out of anything, Horvat can. So I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying that's what the situation is. But they did affect me with a high level of aggression when I was there. And that aggression, tightness. And the point is, it wasn't my tightness, it was techno tightness. I told her about stuff. So if you saw me looking unusually tight there, that is why. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. And anyhow, the point is, I'm getting to be myself in regards to anger and tightness, and my focus is back, and and that's one of the things, one of the reasons why they block my feelings. Oh, that's the other thing. I can feel normally again. I feel like myself because they stop blocking parts of my personality, in particular feelings. This feeling blockers off Broadway, and also in regards to certain things, other things they've been doing as well. It's not like they took off one thing and it's all that. It's more than that. Point is, this is the most normal I felt in a long time, and in regards to how I am here around the flat today, I've certainly been kind of pushy and a go-getter because I feel normal. That's the other thing they stopped doing. I don't have techno tiredness on me, no nothing. So my energy levels are normal, and I feel like getting everything done. Hey, get the flat clean and do this and do that. And I was a little bit out of whack here because I'm rebalanced. That's not the situation that happened at the store here. And again, most people don't get this because they don't understand what it's like to have something on you with this technology for more than a year and then have it taken off of you. Them blocking something that's a part of you, particular feelings that they're blocking, then they return it to you after a couple of years here. What do I tell you? It drops you on your head a bit. And there's some reshifting and rebalancing. You're not reshifting, but you rebalance as you go back to yourself. you know. And for the first time, I'm getting to feel normal. And, I want to get the flat clean and all this stuff that I couldn't do before because even doing a simple video is an all-day event. Washing clothes is impossible. Again, you have no idea. They've been sitting on my willpower and desire to get things done. It's a lot more than that. That's the point. And so now I'm in the way I would normally feel and be. And, I have this enormous mess from the last 2 years here, our flat, which needs to be cleaned up. And I need to get Horvat caught here. And I need to release videos with real information, you know. And so, of course, now I'm in a hurry to get caught up. I got a vacation in just a few weeks here. Horvat wants to take a piss on it by having me do all the stuff, all this stuff during my vacation break. Forget it. I would like to have it all done by, the end of the first week of July. Starting July 8th. Hello. So, and again, people from German agencies, they have no idea how heavily I and my family have been experimenting. Horvat's a psychopath. It's blatantly obvious. If somebody had interviewed us, they would have found that out. Not these morons from the BKA and their little dumbed down Disneyland level that Horvat sold them. They've been clueless. And the reality is, most people have not been affected or attacked or experimented with the way that my family have. I've seen this over and over and over. Not the way that we have. And so I understand that it's hard to understand how this technology interacts with your consciousness as things are changed and moved around. And, Horvat's really good at this, at mixing things up, because she's experimented for years here. Well, if I put a feeling of anger on him and tightness on a level 6, but then we add a feeling of paranoia on a level 10, what do we get? And then, she'll do the same thing with fear. Even a reverse viewpoint like happiness, you name it. And Horvat's been experimenting the whole way here to see how all these different things interact. And why this is how she's gotten so good and thorough at her lying and manipulating with Techno. She sold a lot of bullshit about that the entire time here to agencies. So, if you're an outsider, even if you're people from OSI or wherever, I don't consider you all the evil. You all are small potatoes. You are small potatoes. I actually see you as being capable of catching Horvat based on your background. Hello? And I look at whether or not you're a good person or a bad person. There's no way in hell I see Rob pulling the trigger on my daughter the way that Horvat and officers have. Hello? And the same thing with most people I've interacted with. Everybody's been suckered by Horvat and screwed up. But, all these small potatoes, you got a long ways to go before you reach the level that the BKA has. And that's my point. I'm only really pissed off at two groups of people, Horvat and officers and these BKA agents who have screwed up and who continue to screw up for the BKA. If you're smaller than that, if you're not a part of these two groups, then I don't have real issues with you, which is why Horvat's been making me angry, tight, and aggressive, like I get angry easily in regards to just stupid shit from people. And so she's had me constantly naming Rob and OSI. No, I could care less about it in terms of all the stalking bullshit. Wake up and pay attention to what I'm saying. How about that? Same thing with this guy with the radio show. I'm not tight and aggressive with him. He's got a huge background in this Techno. And he's not the evil either. Yet they had me send off hostile email last week. Hostile might be too much, but certainly aggressive. And again, not me. And they've been having me constantly affected with Techno in regards to these people. And other people as well. And none of it's mine. Today I get to be me for the first time in years. And my anger is where it should be, and my focus, and they're still sitting on my willpower, and my intelligence is, right now they're affecting it. I feel it. There's a feeling. It's just like when I begin getting reverse scripted. I've experienced it so many times, I start to feel it. Horvat and our officers picked up on that, and they got a recording of me picking up on me being reverse scripted. I'm starting to detect it. And then they send that to me after I'm, quote, normal. And then I think, a bunch of good information I put out has been reverse scripted. They had me put out a video last week. And the anger was mine, but Horvat and our officers reverse scripted me and got me to name people all over. What's the difference between this video and that video? Everything. And the thing is, I said I'm not going to name people anymore in my mind. I just placed my mail marker down. And, this is in regards to Horvat, in regards to people Horvat keeps reverse scripting. you know. And yeah, I still get angry at any of these people that any of these people who have screwed up heavily because they've earned it at this point. And this is not a reference to all people I've named here in the video, by the way. Certainly not in regards to the radio blog guy. And OSI's got a long ways to go before they just don't amount to anything in regards to the Bakeout. They're just small potatoes. And still, I look at your background and I look at whether or not you're a good person. I look at this in terms of very different perspective than what people understand here. I look at whether or not you're agents, whether or not you're good people or bad people. Are you deliberately evil here? Are you corrupt, or have you just screwed up? If you screw up, then of course I can get angry. But where that is trying to make me angry is the point in regards to people that normally I wouldn't waste my time being angry with to begin with. Do you understand? And today I get to be normal, and everything's what do I tell you? Fine, you know, and I feel normal again for the first time in a long time. So I'm clearing this up, and this is why I name people. Horvat also had me send off some aggressive emails in regards to another guy. Again, man, I don't have time to be angry over bullshit. That's the point. That is the point. I don't have time for it. Those are not my issues. Stalking is not my issues. People screwing up because they don't get Horvat. Yeah, well, I get she's hard to get. I get that Horvat was hard to get, and especially since she's being deliberately unbelievable as a tactic, and with this Techno. So, what do I tell you? I give people a lot of chances. I gave Horvat and our officers plenty to clean up their act and to, end this. They've been holding me in stalking since 2003. Anybody want to wake up to that? I got held in this last time. I got held in the first week of May. This last time around, which I think was 21 days ago or 22 days ago, was the first possible day. But what they did about 22 days ago is they affected me with Techno. And then they affected me with Techno for the next 5 days. And on one of those 5 days, guess what? I got held in. And I got held in for Techno behavior. Right in front of everybody's face, man. If anybody can knows about it. Maybe they do now, and maybe they agree to it now because of technology. And I'm speaking out about all this. But they sure as hell didn't back in 2003. So there's no argument here. All right, I'm going to end here. I got to get going. There's a lot more I could say. Unfortunately, this first video was better in regards to my points. So that's it.